Welcome to the IBEW Explanation of Benefits for Local Union 379. This DVD will explain all the benefits that are offered through the IBEW. And if at the end you still have questions, please feel free to ask Tommy, Scott, or Nick. What are the benefits of being an IBEW union electrician? The IBEW has negotiated wages, conditions under which each CECW gets the following: health insurance through Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Anthem, eye insurance, a small dental plan, a prescription drug plan through SaveRx. Also included are at least 1 and up to 3 retirements, 2 of which cost you nothing, and the third being paid through your union dues. Over the next 30 minutes, I will explain your insurance, retirement, dues, and being a union member. Health insurance through Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Anthem. Deductibles. Single coverage at no cost to you. Deductibles are $350 per person per year. Family coverage, if so chosen, is an additional $131 to cover your entire family, at a deductible of $350 per person per year. You must have at least 3 contributors to obtain full deductible to cover the family maximum of $1,050 per year. 140 hours per month to be eligible, and any hours over that go into your hour bank. You can bank up to 6 months worth of coverage. After deductible of $350 has been met, 85% will be covered, at a maximum of $1,800 per out-of-pocket to obtain 100% coverage. Max coverage of $1 million per year. Max coverage of unlimited per lifetime. Supplemental insurance, $250 per week for a non-occupational injury, $125 per week for occupational injury, and both of these last up to 26 weeks. Health insurance explained. Layoffs are a big part of our industry, and insurance that only covers you when you are working is good, but what about when you're not? Our insurance program is tailor-made for the construction industry. Our insurance program makes it easy to maintain your insurance through a dry spell without paying a penny. Has a CW1B or higher classification. Once you have worked a full month of 140 hours, your insurance will begin 30 to 45 days later. Overall, it takes about 60 days to begin insurance coverage. Once your insurance has started and you receive your cards, any hours worked over 140 hours in a 1-month period will go directly into an hour bank, much like rollover minutes do with cell phone plans. You can bank insurance hours of up to 840 or 6 months of insurance to cover you while you're out of work. Hour bank explained. You start to work in January and work 160 hours. The first 140 pays for your insurance. The remaining 20 is put into your bank hours. In February, you work 220 hours. The first 140 pays for your insurance. The remaining 80 is added to your bank hours, giving you a total of 100 hours. In March, you work 250 hours. The first 140 pays for your insurance. The remaining 110 is added to your hour bank, giving you a total of 210 hours. And also your insurance starts in March. As you can see, if you work good hours, April, May, June, July, August, September, and October, you now have 740 hours in your hour bank. In November, you are laid off. November's hours are paid for by September's working hours. In December, you're still laid off. December's hours are paid for by October's working hours. In January, you are now dipping into your hour bank, where you started with 740 hours. The first 140 hours is deducted, leaving you a total of 600 hours. In February, you go back to work and you work 160 hours. The first 140 hours pays for insurance. The remaining 20 hours goes into your hour bank. But February is paid for by December's insurance in which you were laid off. So the hour bank is again tapped to pay for your insurance, leaving you $460. In March, you work 260 hours. The first 140 hours pays for May's insurance. But March's insurance was based on January, in which you were laid off. So again, your hour bank is tapped, leaving you 340 hours. In April, you work 200 hours. The first 140 hours is paying for your insurance. The remaining 60 goes into your hour bank, giving you a total of 520. In May, you work 170 hours. The first 140 hours pays for your insurance. The remaining 30 hours is added to your hour bank, bringing you back up to 550. Bank hours explain continuation. The previous page highlights a typical scenario for a worker in our trade. During this member's period of employment, from January to October of the same year, he or she accumulated 720 bank hours and has had insurance since March. Remember, January pays for March and so on. Since January pays for March, September pays for November, and October pays for December. Even though the member isn't working, they still have insurance. However, the member did not work throughout the month of November, so January's insurance must come from somewhere else. Our insurance administrators will draw 140 hours from the member's hours bank to pay for January, February, and March. But the member went back to work in February and worked 160 hours. April is paid and everything is back on track. This member went through a 3-month layoff and never paid a dime to maintain his insurance. Prescription drug coverage. SaveRx program. Brand name drugs vary and are set up on a tier system. Please consult Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Anthem for pricing. Generic drugs are covered at 100%. Our dental plan is through MetLife, a maximum of $1,000 per person per year. Anything above that, you will have to pay out of pocket. Vision coverage. Eye exams are 100% in-network and $35 out-of-network. Up to $115 for frames in-network or $35 out-of-network. Lenses are 100% coverage in-network and $35 to $55 out-of-network. Contacts are up to $120. Safety glasses are 100% in-network, $30 to $60 out-of-network. And safety frames up to $65 in-network and up to $25 out-of-network. To find an in-network provider, please call 1-800-877-7195 or visit www.vsp.com. Insurance review. As a CWCE, you will receive single payer insurance, including the following: major medical through Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Anthem, prescription drug coverage through SaveRx, a dental plan through MetLife, and also vision coverage. If you add your family for an additional $131 a month, they will receive all 4 of these plans, the same as you do. Also note, if you do not add your family when you start working, you can only add them in January or July. Carolina's Electrical Worker Retirement Fund. This retirement fund is at no cost to you and is sometimes referred to as the local pension. Journeyman wiremen receive 8%, or $1.76 per hour. 6th period apprentices receive 7%, or $1.31 per hour. 5th period apprentices receive 6%, or 99 cents an hour. 4th period apprentices receive 5%, or 77 cents an hour. 3rd period apprentices receive 4%, or 57 cents an hour. 1st and 2nd period apprentices do not receive this retirement. Construction electrician 3 receives 4% at 75 cents an hour. Construction electrician 2 receives 4% at 66 cents per hour. Construction electrician 1 receives 4% at 61 cents an hour. Construction wiremen 1 through 4 do not receive this retirement. A JW at 40 hours a week will have contributed in his name $70.40. This times 50 weeks in a year is around $3,520. At a 20 years of service is around $70,400. This does not include interest. After interest is added, the sky's the limit. The next retirement we are going to talk about is the National Electrical Benefit Fund, or the NEBF, National Pension. This pension is provided for you at no cost, paid for by the contractor. Pays out as a true pension benefit. Currently, the pension is paying $32 per month per year of service. This $32 number is not fixed and can be adjusted when needed. If you retire today with 20 years in the IBEW, you will receive $32 times 20 years at $640 per month, every month from the day you retire to the day you die. If you retire today with 40 years in the IBEW, you will receive $1,280 per month, for a total of $15,360 per year. The third and final pension we are going to talk about today is the IBEW pension. This is the one and only pension that you will actually pay for, and it is a part of your union dues. If you have 20 years in the IBEW and retire today, you will receive $90 a month, or $4.50 times 20 years. If you have 40 years in the IBEW, you will receive $180, or $2,160 per year. Note, service means that you remained a member throughout your career and worked at least 300 hours in a year to be for an IBEW signatory contractor. An IBEW electrician's retirement, including estimated Social Security benefits. These are estimates and are not for everyone. An estimate of a Social Security benefit of $1,750 per month, or $21,024 per year. A 30-year IBEW pension, $1,620. NEBF retirement for 30 years, $11,520. Total per year retirement after 30 years, $34,164. Note that the figures above do not include the Carolina Electrical Workers Retirement Fund. Since the Carolina Electrical Workers Retirement Fund is hourly based, no two will ever be exactly the same. Keep in mind, the Carolina's Electrical Workers Retirement Fund is a lump sum pension. When you retire, you draw all money out that is in that fund. The construction wireman, construction electrician minimum wage pay rate. The base rate for all classifications is the journeyman wireman rate of $22.10 per hour as of September 1st. As you can see, a construction wireman 1 probationary with no experience will start at 45% of $22.10, with a rate being at $9.94. A top helper or construction electrician level 3 pay rate is at 85% of the journeyman wireman scale, that being $18.78. Once you are locked into the CWCE program, you will advance based on hours worked. Now we're going to talk about what are Local 379 union dues. In this, we're going to use an example of a journeyman wireman. The Local 379 journeyman wireman scale is $22.10 per hour as of September 1st, 2011. That making a JW's basic dues at $49.10 a month. Based on 160 hours in a working month, this would put his dues at 30 cents an hour, and also working dues of 4% at about 88 cents an hour, making his total hourly wage rate minus dues at $20.92 an hour. Some electricians may think this is a lot to pay, but what do you get for it? Total dues per hour are $1.21 versus $1.76 local pension, a $5.30 health insurance, which includes major medical, eye, dental, and a prescription plan, a 66 cent per hour NEBF pension, a 44 cent per hour JATC training availability, for a total of $8.16 versus $1.21 total benefits. Now, what do you think? Dues continued. We're going to expand a little bit on union dues to help you better understand how both of these work. CECWs and apprentices pay monthly dues of $37 per month. This means that you are a union member and have all the rights and privileges that come with that. CEs, CWs, and apprentices pay working dues, 4% of gross wages. That 4% is the main income for the local union and it helps run the office. To expand further on monthly dues of $37 per month, the first $10 comes to the local union and it helps run the office along with the 4% of gross wages. The next $14 is a life insurance policy of $6,250 for a normal death or $12,000 for an accidental death, and also a $4.50 per year retirement. The remaining $13 runs our office in Washington, D.C. Membership in the IBEW guarantees access to many training events throughout the year. Currently, the Charlotte JATC offers training classes most every Saturday, usually beginning at 8 a.m. The events and training calendar can be viewed by all at the following link: charlottejatc.org/events. The classification CW1B and higher also receives pension and health coverage paid for by the employer. We enjoy unlimited access to free training to help you reach your higher and higher classifications and professional goals. Job opportunities with Local 379. Journeyman wiremen must come in person upon being laid off and sign Book 1. Then re-sign each month between the 28th and the 1st to remain on the books. This can be done by fax at 704-455-5117 or email at IBEW379@ctc.net, or finally in person. CEs and CWs must come in person upon being laid off and sign the CECW out of work list. Then re-sign each month between the 28th and the 1st to remain on the out of work list. This can also be done by fax, email, or in person. Note At all times, make sure the hall has your correct contact information. Opportunities to work with other locals. Get a letter of introduction and, along with a paid up dues receipt, go to other local unions and sign their out of work list. Ask for their procedures and follow the instructions to get a call and how to re-sign. Have your business manager call ahead or go to www.ibew.org. Salting, working for an open shop employer while assisting the local in organizing. You must attend a salting class before doing this. In closing, a word on the union. No part of this system is engineered to hold anyone back. The ceiling is as high as your aptitude and attitude can reach. According to the American Heritage Dictionary, a union is a combination thus formed, especially a confederation of persons or parties or political entities for the mutual interest. When you think about this, unions are everywhere. The NRA, the Chamber of Commerce, the American Medical Association are all unions. All of these people know and understand that the best and fastest way to get what you want is to come together collectively and ask for it. More voices make a louder noise. Union members work under a contract. Like most contracts, ours works both ways, laying out rights of management and the rights of the membership. Our contract also specifies raises when they are to be given, working conditions, and a reasonable tool list that specifies what you are to have and what the contractor is to supply. Think about it. How many contractors have you worked for would do a job without a contract? Why should you be any different?